Hello, Hashima. This is lesson 105, multi-step decimals for Monday, April 6th. So today we're going to be solving multi-step decimal word problems. This should be review for you, although some of the problems can be a little bit tricky figuring out the different operations. Sorry, let me put this behind the paper. So really the trick here is making sure that you are showing all the steps and reading the problems carefully. So look at the box at the top. It's going to remind you of some of the rules that we use for solving decimal problems. So to place the decimal in the right position, remember for addition and subtraction, you are always going to line up the decimal and then line up the digits by place value around that decimal point. When you multiply, it's really different. You're going to actually pretend that the decimal is invisible. And then at the end of the problem, you're going to count up the total decimal places that both of the factors have. And then whatever that total is, you're going to reinsert the decimal point in the product or answer. For division, you're going to bring the decimal point straight up to the quotient. And if your divisor is a decimal, you're going to have to shift both the decimal in the dividend and the divisor in order to make it like a whole number. So let's just review what that looks like with all four operations. There is a hard copy version of this on the drive if you would like to see it written down in a different way. So let's start with addition. If you notice over here, I lined up by the decimal point to get an answer of 52 and 58 hundredths. Then going over to subtraction. And by the way, in both addition and subtraction, I'm annexing zeros to even everything out. In this one, make sure that you're regrouping properly to get the answer of 66 and 33 hundredths, looking at how my decimal is lined up. Look down here, though, at the multiplication, and you can see that we're pretending in a way that the decimal point's invisible. So instead of thinking of it as 4.25 times 6.1, think of it as 425 times 61. And then we're going to reinsert that decimal place at the end. So I did my multiplication just like I always would. And then at the end, I counted up 2 decimal places in the first factor, 1 decimal place in the second factor. That gives me a total of 3 decimal places in the answer. So that's why I counted back 3 places to get a final answer of 25 and 925 hundredths. Going to the last problem is division. Notice it was a decimal in the divisor. So I actually had to shift the decimal point in both the divisor and the dividend. So it's actually like doing 295 and 2/10 divided by 82. So remember that shift. And then I put the decimal straight up in the quotient. So getting a final answer of 3.6 there. And if that's confusing, just do the regular multiplication and you'll see that 3.6 times 82 is equal to 295.2. And in the same way, 3.6 times 8.2 is 29.52. So again, there's another version of this on the drive if that's not clear. All right, let's look at example A, which is a multi-step problem having to do with somebody training for a competition. So let's read it first. I'm trying to straighten it out. So while training for an Ironman competition, Johnson swam 8,600 kilometers, biked for 22 4/10 kilometers, and ran for 4 25 kilometers. He completed this routine twice a week. So how many kilometers did he travel in his training over the course of a week? So there are 4 numbers that I circled. So I have my 3 bullet points of the different amounts, and then I bracketed it and put that he did that twice per week. So step 1 is going to be to find the total kilometers that he does for each routine. So adding up the swimming, biking, and running to get 27.51. And step 2 is going to be to multiply that by 2 because he's going to do that same routine 2 times a week for a final answer of 55 and 2 hundredths. Notice I put the decimal point 2 places in right there. And on this side, I line them up because it's addition. All right, looking at example B, Jenny buys 22 pens that cost $1.15 each and 15 markers that cost $2.05 each. If we want to know how much she spent in all, what I did is I first bulleted out the 4 numbers in the problem, making sure that I match up the correct price with pens and the correct price with markers. And then you can see I divided up my workspace. The first section is for just pens. So $1.15 times 22 is $25.30. Then I did the markers, which is $2.05 times 15, which gives me 30 and 75 hundredths. And then the last step is to add up the pens and the markers. So 2530 plus 3075 is a final answer of 56.05. So you're going to go ahead and try some decimal problems on your own for Are You Ready and work it out, and then you'll do the exit ticket. We will see you on Zoom. Have a great day.